Season 2 of Fionna and Cake has had a mixed reception, but one thing that I feel like we can all agree with is that the Undergrowth was a great addition to Adventure Time, its mythology, and its lore. The Undergrowth is a dimension that, unlike most in the series, overlaps with the whole multiverse, as opposed to one individual universe. It is this enormous vegetation structure that encompasses the multiverse, either being on top of it, below it, or just overlapping it in a similar way as the astral plane. It is connected to every single universe to creatures that exist in each of these universes named Hearts of the Forest. The Heart of the Forest seems to always be some sort of stag that, at least in the main universe, is a source for all green wizards' power and magic. But this weird realm is also connected to all vegetation in the multiverse as well. We've seen that it is possible to travel through other universes as well as travel through time by using its power. In episode 2, Huntress accidentally kills the Heart of the Forest, which eventually results in her being sucked into a portal that leads her to the Undergrowth. There, she explodes due to getting hit with dynamite stick knives, which is hilarious, but keeps herself together as her astral form, while her physical body becomes seeds that get spread around the multiverse. That's how she gets to Fionna and the plot of the season starts. In episode 5, we see that Huntress Wizard is not able to connect to the Heart of the Forest in that world, so instead she connects with the oldest tree in the city. By doing that, she is transported to this other realm that might or might not be the Undergrowth, but at the very least is connected. Only that instead of her going through it to reach other universes, she goes up and down the river, arriving at different points in the lifetime of the tree. And this isn't just metaphorical memory or some sort of non-literal action. When she and Cake allowed the group of butterflies to survive instead of dying, which was what was supposed to happen, they went 1,000 years into the future just to see that those butterflies took over the world. So, in theory, they could branch into infinite universes or infinite timelines and versions of the universe from just one tree. And in episode 9, she manages to find the heart again, but through mental or memory-based means rather than physically. This is also interesting because with her plant powers that she has by being connected to the Undergrowth, even though not necessarily her magic, just her biological being a plant, is connected to the Undergrowth. With that, she's able to connect to people's minds and dreams throughout the whole multiverse, and even allow Fionna and Fennel to see spirits. This tells us that the potential for green magic, or just green physiology, and the Undergrowth is truly unlimited. This is again reinforced in episode 9, when we meet the Karmic Worm, who we find out is Cosmic Owl's brother. He was cast out of the higher realm where the cosmic entities exist, and even the multiverse itself, into the Undergrowth, where he is tasked to eat and process thoughts that all people around the multiverse are pushing down. This is usually traumatic or uncomfortable memories or ideas. He transforms them into trees and helps them grow until those thoughts come back to the surface in order to get over their problems.
You live down here, eating pain?
When someone in the multiverse pushes down a thought, I process it so it can fruit again on these trees. A new framework, a little lighter. When they're ripe, they'll float on back to their source. They might cycle back down here again. Not that I look, but there's no shame in it. Thoughts come here to transform. It's amazing. And not just because of what changes. The changes reveal what stays the same.
This, just like some of the earlier examples, shows that this realm is not only physical, but highly spiritual, and even mental. It truly is encompassing everything. And to a point where Cosmic Owl or Prismo, characters who exist beyond space and time or are non-physical, even they have their own bad thoughts that come down here and he has to process. The Undergrowth is not just a multiversal thing, it also encompasses characters like Prisma who exist outside of space and time at the center of the multiverse in neither of those universes. All inhabitants of this realm is plant-based. From the normal plants that we are used to see to some alien and hard to understand life forms, as well as some of them that seem sapient or even humanoid, like Fern for example, whose consciousness left his body at death and came to this place where he assists the worm with helping people of the multiverse. He especially takes care of Finn's tree so that it grows, as it's naturally small due to Finn suppressing all his trauma and memories.
You don't want to see that one. Trust me. Finn's a sad fruit medley, but the balls won't float up. He's not ready to deal with those feelings.
Which is kind of beautiful that he is trying to help Finn specifically. When talking about the Undergrowth, a lot of people assume that the show was inspired by Norse mythology, more specifically the Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil, which is the tree that holds the 9 realms, or the World Tree. You might know it from Thor or Marvel in general. But to me, the connection was always pretty superficial. Since episode 2, I compared it to the green from Swamp Thing. This is only more reinforced the longer the show went. In Swamp Thing, the green is plant life itself, an ethereal realm that connects every single plant life in existence. Swamp Thing can feel, inhabit, and grow out of any flora that exists. Things are very different in the green. I have become so accustomed to traveling through it, using it as an easy means of transportation, my consciousness from one place to another, that I forget it is not merely a convenient highway. Every plant that grows, every form of vegetable, life on the face of the earth is part of the green. It is a vast collective consciousness, non-sentient yet self-aware. The green has a different agenda from that of mankind. Its timetable is measured in millennia, not hours or days. With my hands upon the ground, I feel the answer flowing through me, through blades of grass, hair roots like synapses passing information through my consciousness. Molecule thoughts set adrift into the minds of pollinating ideas, germinating concepts. The green is a place of living information, ever-changing and yet ever-persistent, a realm of impossible depths and fleeting infections. To even attempt to describe it would be akin to describing an eternal forest simply by its color. Memory. Among other things, this place is memory. Not of any consciousness, but the collective memory of all things green across life and death. We are standing in a place that remembers everything, through time, radiating onward in layers. Like stories passed on to each generation, changing them and becoming changed in turn. This is the power of the green. I can't be 100% sure that this is it, but if there's anything that inspired the Undergrowth, my money is on the green. So this is it. It's a over-encompassing realm that rivals the multiverse in size, and it's not only connected to all plant life in existence, but a way to travel the universe, time, dreams, memories, and minds, as well as a source of all green and plant magic in existence, or plant life in existence as a whole. What's perhaps the most interesting part of it all is the fact that back in Season 3, in Memory of a Memory, we see that Ash sent Finn and Jake to the depths of Marceline's mind to find a painful memory so that he can erase it and then Marceline could forget about their breakup. You know, because he's a horrible person. But the interesting part is that while in Marceline's mind, outside of it being black and white, visually this is very similar and also very conceptually similar to the Undergrowth. we have bubbles of memories that are hanging from tree structures. I'm not saying this is some crazy foreshadowing, but I'm saying that it's possible that they retrospectively or retroactively somehow made the Undergrowth in a similar way so that it seems like they're the same thing. Then again, maybe it's just a coincidence and they totally forgot. But if you remember Memory of a Memory, that episode is surprisingly similar to the worm in his orchard.